Welcome back to a special broadcast of the commemoration of the 7th of October, 1 year on. And today we have the honor of speaking to a very, very special guest. We'll be speaking to the Deputy Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran to South Africa, His Excellency Mehdi Salehi. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate you giving us your time and really looking forward to a really great conversation.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to you and your audience. And
Mm.
it's very good. Thank you that I appreciate it's chance to me to talk to you and your audience.
Mm. I think first and foremost, before we get into the nitty gritties of our conversation, we can start off with it's been almost it's exactly a year since the events of the 7th of October, and today we are commemorating and noting that day, which essentially has paved the way to where we find ourselves currently with Iran right now being so heavily involved. The events of the past 12 months, what do you make of them? And from Iran's point of view, how has the year panned out diplomatically? And how the situation and this aggression by the Israeli occupiers has been dealt with?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to say something about yesterday. Actually, yesterday, me and Mr. Ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Shakib, the Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran, we were participating for the ceremony for commemoration and solidarity with the people of Palestine on 7th of the October anniversary. It was an amazing gathering, and we are very praised the people of the South Africa and government of South Africa that supporting the Palestinian issues, especially when we consider that the lawsuit have been conveyed to the International Court in Hague against Zionist regime, in particularly that have been raised that is a commitment. I mean, the Zionist regime has a commitment genocide in the occupied land, and we are
Mm,
raised these activities, and we are confirm and praise, and we are supporting this idea. Actually, it was a brave and historical action. Yes.
mm,
Back to
mm,
your question about the situation in the Middle East, that actually the military response that has Iran decided to exercise was according to Article 51 of UN Charter. This article says that if the member of the UN have been attacked, I mean armed attack, that country can have right individually or collective for safe defense. According to this article, with safe defense, and because the Zionist regime violating international law and sovereignty of Iran. Actually, you know that you are aware, I'm sure that about 2 months ago almost that we have a guest, former guest, the leader of the Hamas, Mr. Hani, was the guest of my government, and that was assassination by the Zionist regime. It was, we have no choice except that we defined our sovereignty and territorial and security of people of Iran, and Iran has response of this aggressive behavior. Before that, also Zionist regime have been killed and terror some scientific and political person. Of course, in Iran also there is a scientific have been terror by Zionist regime. I mean, I wanted to say that the Zionist regime violating the international law and sovereignty of Iran, and we have target and response of these activities, aggressive
mm,
activities. Our targeting military and intelligence bases only, not a civil target. we avoid, and we are because it's not moral to attack the other places. We only respond to some uh, military and intelligence bases in territory of the Zionist regime. Yes.
Mm, mm, mm. Your Excellency, there's widespread concerns about the possibility of further escalation. With many fearing that this could, spiral into a broader regional conflict. How does Iran view the potential for diplomacy to prevent further violence, or we've gone past the point of diplomacy and sitting around the table and finding solutions, and the current status quo is essentially the only response and avenue that needs to be taken?
Actually, I should make clear for you and for the audience that we exercise our legitimate right to defense and response. I mean, I wanted to say that it is a legitimate right to defend our sovereignty and territorial and people of Iran, the security of people of Iran. The first point. The second point, we are going to show our deterrence. Third point is we are not going to be. We don't want to escape war in the region. And this message should the enemies and especially Zionist regime should understand and realize that according to international law, legitimate right and determinate and deterrence, we show these activities. And I told you already that this is our legitimate right, and we wanted to show how we can and deterrence. We don't want to split the war in the region. The
Mm, mm,
uh,
mm,
the world should understand this position of Iran. And if I emphasize that if the Zionist regime will respond again, we have no choice except to respond again, but harder and harsher and very dangerous for the Zionist regime.
mm, mm,
This time may be different again. Uh, yes, they should understand Iran is ready to respond of any activities, any aggressive and retaliation that if the Zionist regime wants to show and to act operation military against Iran.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
Um, y- you, Your Excellency, I think after the events of last week, Iran has stated, and I think Iran has stated countless times that it is not a friend of the U.S. Due to Washington's support for Israel. In light of these strained relations, how does Iran view the role of the US in the current conflict? That's number one. And what are the diplomatic consequences of American involvement? I think the American government themselves said they are looking at further sanctioning Iran. On top of the sanctions that they've already imposed on the country, they're looking to further restrict and sanction Iran because of last week's events. H- how do you see, the involvement of the U.S. And their role in the Middle East?
Do you know, it's very clear that the U.S. is an accomplice of Israel regime, and he's a partner of the issues. And by supporting military weapons and financially supporting Zionist regime, actually American has a partner and, as I told you, accomplice of this regime, and this lead to continuation of massacre and genocide in Palestinian. I wanted to say that the supporting of America make this events and development and genocide in occupied land. This is the first point. And second point about how we can convert this message that Iran has said is very simple. For instance, the embassy of Swiss in Tehran is responsible for convey or transfer our message to US that what is the motivation, what is the purpose of Iran, and why we respond. And we also ready to respond any activities. For instance, you say that sanction is not only now, but near 40 cases we are face a heavy sanction against Iran and the people of Iran. Is
mm,
we are we get used to this sanction and. Actually, you should ask to the U.S. why he supported Israel regime, Zionist regime that have so brutally activities and this genocide people, innocent people of occupied land. They should answer why they are easily killed and continue with these activities. Um, yes,
mm,
I believe that the Western countries, especially U.S., if they are stop supplies, weapon, and financially, maybe the story change.
mm, mm. And you mentioned the fact that sanctions and restrictions from the US have always been there for decades. But is Iran at a position, whether economically or otherwise, is Iran in a position where it can take and handle further sanctions that seemingly are going to be imposed by the United States of America because of last week's actions?
Yes, it is possible, but as I told you, we get used to this sanction, and we are ready to self-sufficient in various field economically and business and progress industrial and is is I don't want to say that this is easy. No, but it is a cost that we have paid for for the freedom, for the independency. This every country has paid something. For instance, the Palestinian pay because they pay and victim and killed because they want to be independence, they want to be justice, and they have to get right to live.
Mm,
It is a normal way. But otherwise, on the other front, I mean the American, they should realize that every country has the right to live independently, and no country can impose the idea and other thing that you should do or not do. It is a
mm,
problem, of course. It's a challenge. Yes, it is a challenge, but we get used to it, and it is a normal way anyway.
mm, mm, mm. Your
It's not
Excellency,
easy way. It's not easy way. Every country like Iran want to be freedom, like to
yes.
be independent, self-sufficient. Say that there is my determination. This is my desire. Therefore, is there some confrontation. It's not easy way, as you know that. Yes, he is difficult, but we can challenge and we are come over to it. We can we will victory about during the president's imposed war Iraqi against Iran. We are success. Yes,
Mm, mm, mm.
this time also we are ready to respond to any activities from Zionist regime, and he should realize and understand is not the play, is not the only play and say that it's easy. No, not at all.
mm, mm, mm. No, definitely. Your Excellency, it's not a secret that Iran has support for groups like Hamas and Hezbollah, and this is something that's very, very well known. How does Iran justify this support, and how does it view its role in the broader struggle for Palestinian and Lebanese sovereignty, as you stress the importance of sovereignty so much?
Yes, actually, we fight and we support them. Of course, we support them politically and spiritually, and we believe that they are right. They have right to have safe, sufficient, safe, deterrence, safe. They have right to be live freely in the territorial land in Lebanon or in Palestinian. We believe that we support justice. We support for them for the to be freedom, to have a freedom, to have a justice. Not only in view of the religion, it's our moral duty to support them. It's
Mm,
clear. As you know that, for instance, when here was the struggle against colonialism and apartheid, we support the leaders or other groups that was a struggle. We support them because we feel that there is a correct way. Because we are human beings. For human being, for the right of human being, humanitarian behavior, moral. Also, we support the ANC, for instance, in the during of the struggle against apartheid. And of course, that time, many countries, many say that why you are supported. And now we are supporting Lebanon, Hezbollah, or Hamas. It is a moral way. As you know that, for instance, at the beginning I interview with you, I emphasize that we are praise and defense and support the idea that the South Africa government support the Palestinian. Why? Because they have so many reasons. Genocide has been occurred over there in the occupied land. Therefore, we support it. Every country has free to express his beliefs and supporting of the moral according to international law. Yes.
mm, mm. Um, Speaking of the ANC and the South African government, the face of South Africa's government has changed since the elections. There's this new government of national unity, which is at the helm. What is your relationship with the new administration? Is it similar, or are you seeing some changes with how you are interacting with them?
Actually, we don't feel any change, and historical relationship between Iran and French, of course, between two countries has been continuing without any change. And also, we believe that the government of South Africa has principle for any country and is an independent country. Therefore, we don't have any concern about the policy of South Africa towards Iran or other country. It has an independent country, and we don't feel any change or any challenge. No, actually, we have an excellent relationship in Europe, politically and economic and other fields. Very, very good. We don't have any problems. And also, once again, I want to say that we praise South Africa's stance regarding apartheid regime of Israel and also ICG the profile.
Mm,
The against Zionist regime is a wonderful, and we by all means we defend and support this idea. Um, there is no any differences between our people of South Africa. As I told you in the first of the beginning of this interview, I told you yesterday I was in the ceremony or in Soweto. ANC has been organized this gathering and was very wonderful that I saw the high ranking of government and people of the South Africa support the innocent people of Palestine. Is is we are very feel closely to the government of South Africa and people of South Africa.
Mm.
Yes.
And just lastly, Your Excellency, before I let you go, where to from here? From Iran's government, we are seeing the situation in the Middle East and how it's unfolding, but without giving much away. What's going to be your position in the next coming few months and weeks, as these events continue to unfold?
About the prediction of the future is difficult, but on behalf of my government and the people of Iran, we are ready to respond to any activities on that wants to break the territorial or sovereignty of Iran. We have response. We have, you know, uh, we are ready to respond to any activities against my countries.
Mm.
But if you want to about the how this in future, what's happening in future is difficult. But we are ready. We respond very harder, and we can say that harsher. We could
Mm.
be able to respond of this aggressive behavior of Zionist regime against my country.
All right. I think we're going to leave it on that note. Your Excellency, thank you so much for giving us your time. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you once again from you and your radio, and also I am once again very happy to I have a chance to talk to your audience. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. That was Deputy Ambassador of Iran, Mehdi Salehi. And yeah, just giving us the latest coming out of Iran, the official word. He essentially represents the Iranian government here in South Africa. And it was really, really interesting to get their insights as we continue to commemorate October the 7th, and with Iran now being a very, very important player in what's currently happening in the Middle East. So it's going to be interesting just how the next few weeks and months are going to be unfolding. But as you heard from His Excellency, Deputy Ambassador Mehdi Salehi, saying they are ready. They are ready to protect the sovereignty of their country, and they'll continue to support the people of Palestine and the people of Lebanon. We're going to leave it here for now. From myself, Salalo Makudir, and the rest of the team, is goodbye.